on, Jim. All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Regular meeting for West Delaware School District for October 2025. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. I don't think we had any amendments this month, so.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Move on to item number 3, our consent items.
So we brought back some first
Yep.
reads.
No, go ahead.
Is that
You
where
bet.
you're going? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's where I was
I'm
going.
gonna jump the gun on
No,
that.
you're perfect.
So number first reads this month, nothing major. There was some wording changes. You'll notice there was one of the policies, the 208, that changed from the name of the policy changed from ad hoc committees to board committees, because essentially there are 2 types of board committees: the ad hoc. They're like the incidental that pop up, you do something with it, and then it dissolves, and then your standing ones. So they just wanted the the title of the policy to reflect not just one of the types of committees. So not a huge change, just wording, semantics there. Did you guys have any questions?
Just one clarification. In 50207, the student substance use, I noticed they put nicotine products in as an edit. Is that just to deal with vaping? Does that encompass like
Yes.
vaping
Yep.
type items and things? Okay.
Yeah, try to
Nice.
catch all
That's
in
good.
one there. It's hard to keep up with naming them all
Products and
individually.
everything. Yeah, I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that was considered in
I'd say you eased us back into them.
that. Just wait.
You're welcome.
The accounts payable were reviewed this month.
Yes, they were.
John, you got that
Everything's
this
fine.
month? That? Any other questions on the consent items?
I move that we accept or approve the consent items.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 4, announcements and communications. Catch up. It won't, so I'll just go from memory. We'll take comments from the public, but comments have to be limited to 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I think we said. And the board can only talk about what's on the committed agenda. So any comments from the public tonight? All right. We'll move on then. Our updates for Friends of Music.
Yes, Friends of Music met last month on Wednesday, September 17th. So the fundraiser, the big fundraiser right now is the wreath sale event. It started today. It goes through the end of the month. The kickoff activity is this Saturday, the Blitz, from 2:30 to 4:30. Also on the agenda tonight, you'll see more of the New York trip, request for approval. Just want to point out that on Saturday morning, the marching band went to Dubuque Senior.
That was awesome.
Had great improvement and received a Division I rating,
That
which
was awesome.
is really good. So,
Yeah.
next meeting is this Wednesday night, 6 p.m., High School Commons.
Thank you. Any update in the meeting on how I didn't see the toilet come around a second time to my house, so.
Yeah, I think
didn't
we're
know.
in the 40s or 50s, if I remember right. So,
I was keeping track of how.
I think
Yeah,
I did
there-
see one that went back to a
yeah,
place.
Somebody got a second round, so not that I'm
probably
begging for it, please.
gonna leave the county here pretty soon.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, good to hear. Another fun year of that. All right, thanks. Athletic.
They did not meet in October, but they did talk with the officers as far as approving. They only had one request, and that was really the only thing. It was what Matt put in his board report, those velocity sensors for the weight
Oh, yeah.
room.
Yep.
So they approved that, no problem. And as he also put in there, I think Booster Club memberships are pretty much wrapped up, and another good year for that. So depending on what coaches may need next month will determine whether or not they meet.
Okay. Appreciate it. And academic.
Yeah, the Academic Booster Club met last Wednesday, the 8th, and they approved the grants for the fall session, and they would like to present those grants at our next board meeting in November.
Awesome. We'll make sure you get them on the
Yep,
agenda for that.
make
That's
note
great to
of
hear.
that.
Great. Hey, Sean, appreciate the update. Great. Any other questions? All right, we'll move on to second reading of policies, which there are none for this month because we didn't have any last month. Move on to our favorite section, the administrator and director reports. Start off with the superintendent report. So first of all, I did like just that we've started to implement a little more of a standard. If you guys remember when we went through our goals last time, we said we wanted to try and standardize some of the reports. So I think we're starting to get to where we're reviewing them in a standard fashion. So I really like that change just kind of off that. That's really helpful.
And that's what we're still getting used to it. You'll see some tweaks in how we work with them, and especially being we're in flux a little bit with our goals still. Last I talked to you guys, we had our building goals, and then a couple days later the school performance profiles came out, so we had to do some adjusting. So you'll hear that from the principals in a little while. But I'm looking at my goals and thinking about my scorecard. I linked that in as well, and I kind of divided it into the 3 areas. The 4 disciplines was the goal setting process and getting that implemented. So you can see I kind of put a checklist there that talks about what we've done, what we have yet to do. Something very cool that Jonathan Green had shared with me a while back. He wanted to try to implement the 40X with the band, and they had the goal of getting 70, going from whatever their last score was to 70, and they had their wildly important goal on the board. And so he's now a firm believer in wildly important goals, and he implemented it in classroom and with the kids. And so that was kind of a cool thing to see too, that it's carried throughout different places in the district. So the goal setting is the first one. The strategic planning process is the second part of my scorecard there, and just talked about the PEPL vote. We have we have a SIAC committee meeting coming up later this month, so we've communicated with the committee members for that. You guys will see that approval coming up later for that. So that's part of the work, collecting current data, and that includes, I think you've seen floating around a link to a survey to get stakeholder feedback, and we've had over 130 responses to this point. So I'm very excited about the response that we're getting, and a lot of good information. I'm glad that people are doing that. If anybody's listening, it's still open and it's linked to our website. So we'd love if anybody else wants to go grab that link and share thoughts. We're looking for as much feedback as we can get. So the second portion of the scorecard is just looking through that, and you can see what we've done so far, and then the things that are coming up. So we'll talk about hosting the SIAC later this month, and then working on development based on what they've said, all the way to implementation throughout the spring. So that's kind of what we have moving there. The other things within my report this year, the wellness committee met this month too, earlier this month. Actually, it was September now that I'm thinking about that, but wellness committee met to revise our plan. We have to look at it. There's an assessment that we hold it up against to make sure that we have all the components, that our goals match what the required goals are. And then that's also part of our nutrition audit that we have coming up in November, just showing that we've done that work. Some things that came from the policy or from the team this year on the wellness policies, we're going to work on looking at how our nutrition standards are fitting in K-12. So I'll be working with our PE and health department on that. And then talked about possibly ways of getting a wellness program in place for our adults. And for the staff, we talked about possibly hosting some sort of health fair, maybe in the winter, that they can go through some tests or what, just some wellness things on that end. And then maybe looking at monthly opportunities for staff to participate in an after-school fitness class or something like that. So those were some things that came from that review this year.
We should do a staff tug of war.
Yeah. I was getting nervous. So far last week, we had staff playing powder puff volleyball, and then it makes me nervous. They went out on the field for dodgeball. I'm like, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt.
Yoga sounds like a more acceptable option.
A little safer.
I went to the link you had in there, and looked at who's all on that. It's a good group to have.
Group.
Yes, with the wellness group. That was, people in the medical field, nutrition people. So it's good that it's serious enough to have great people in it.
Yeah, and that's where we got the idea for some of the wellness stuff with staff. And someone from RMC was there and said, hey, you could work with this or contact this person at the hospital. They'd help you.
Yeah.
So it's good to have
great.
those connections and partners for sure.
Well, I noticed under events, yours was blank this month, but I probably would hit next month. But just curious, with homecoming activities being so fresh in our mind,
Yeah.
kind of update. I saw a number of exciting things that we did this year that maybe we haven't done in the past. And
Yeah,
just
it
kind
was.
of curious your perspective on how the week went.
Yeah, great week, and I don't want to steal thunder from Matt that might be speaking to it in a little bit, but when we put these reports in was early last week,
Right.
so we didn't want to
Yeah, no, I
tie
knew that
ourselves
was the
down, but
case.
yeah. So no, lots of fun things. We had the evenings were just amazing. activities for it's not very often you can have homecoming and have home cross country, home volleyball, home football on that same week. So it's awesome that everybody got to showcase kind of their teams in that way that week. And Matt was very generous in saying that every student could attend free of charge, which was good. And Friday night, as all the, there's hundreds of kids running around, we thought Matt was a genius trying to during the football game. No, it was fun though. What a cool atmosphere. So that was probably the highlight of the week, I think, seeing everybody out Friday night. But then earlier that day, we had a district-wide pep rally, which we've not had before.
That was really cool.
That was out on Brown Field, and everybody preschool through 12th grade was there, including St. Mary's. Yep. So just an awesome way for every kid to get to see that, and then jumping into the parade. We did one of the hurdles we faced this year had to do with the parade, and we had a couple entries that we've never had pre-registration for the parade before. It's just you show up and you're in the parade, and this year we had a couple outside people come into the parade, and so we need to figure out, if that's something Matt and I have been talking. I reached out to other superintendents in the area, kind of gathering some feedback on how they handle that situation, if they do pre-registration or not, if they have any criteria for who can be represented in the parade. And so we're working through that. We know next year there'll be some sort of registration process, just so that we have some ideas of who's going to show up to be in the parade, and try to work through that a little bit differently moving forward after this year's experience. So
Good. That's good. Good
Thank you.
perspective. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Thanks, Matt. A lot of good activities. That was really
do you have anything to add, Matt? Sorry, I didn't want to.
Yeah, you posted it before. I know football won, but cross country and volleyball, I think.
Yeah, volleyball won great sets that night. Cross country girls finished 4th that night. I think boys finished 9th off top night, 8th or 9th. Good times. It went great. Yeah, great week for everybody.
I saw the fairgrounds were packed too, because middle school
School also had their
cross
meet.
country the same day.
Actually, just had middle school conference cross country. Just got update from that, and Aurora Milroy was top finished with 2nd place for 8th grade girls. So
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Lots of positives.
All right. Any other questions as we go through the other reports? And go report by report, but
I was gonna, Rudy, that's quite a drop in ODRs for this point in the year. So thanks for putting that in there. And I guess, as Jen was talking about 4DX, I want to thank all you guys for implementing that. And, you can kind of see that, we kind of question if the staff would be on board, but from what we can see, or what I see here, it looks like everybody's kind of jumping on. So excited to see how it progresses with time and gets to those wildly important goals. So thanks for including that stuff.
Rudy, I was curious. I read through, you talked about the new software that you put in that was helping on the ODR side, which I'm assuming the improvement isn't just the new process, that there's some other factors kind of contributing to that. Anything else you'd share on kind of your perspective or observations around what's helping drive some of that improvement?
We didn't do anything else different, but add that program. And so, I've been visiting with my teachers during our data days this past week, and at BLT tonight, asking that question. And where we landed on that is the strength of the program is on its why. It has a great why. And that why is students don't have the right to interrupt somebody else's education. Parents love it. Students get it. I think the other thing is it's consistent across the building. Every teacher's had a classroom management plan and their own set of rules and things, but now all the rules are the same everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go. So when kids go from one classroom to another or to a specials, they know what to expect. Our subs love it. Doesn't matter where they go. It's all the same. If I have to send a para into another room to work, no worries. It's all the same.
It's awesome.
And so teachers have just bought into it. We hit it day one, hit it hard. But I really appreciated hearing that from the teachers. It's the why we're doing it. and people get it and have bought into it.
So structure and discipline still works, is what you're saying?
What's that?
Structure and discipline still works in the world, I guess. Oh, that's good to hear.
Go figure, right?
That's good. That was great. Hey, Matt? Is he hiding? Oh, he's hiding back there. There he is. I was
Oh,
gonna
it's
say,
over
I thought I saw somebody back there. You're hiding over on the other side. Sorry about that. Hey, I was curious. I was looking through your list and specifically when you got down to your scorecard, I really liked some of the things you had listed on here. Are those things that in the future you'll have those on a scorecard with progress or just kind of getting aligned with what expectations should be going?
Yep, for my scorecard, that first bullet, the student IP progress monitoring monthly data, that will be my scorecard.
Okay, so
That's gonna
that's
be
something you will
aligning
show
with,
on a,
kind of aligning with the other principles as well when we look at the data piece. So some things already with that one, because I had my first round of data meetings with special ed teachers last week and finish up this week. And we've already seen some growth. We have a couple kids that are going to be exiting their IEP, a couple kids that have met their goals. We'll continue maybe one other goal, but so we've seen some progress already, which is great.
That's great to hear. Great. Oh, that's helpful. Appreciate it. Well, and at the high school and middle school both, it is interesting. You know, we had great performance come out, great scores come out on our, and it's one of those things to where it's like, oh wow, we set our goal and we've already kind of achieved it. And so you guys both had to maybe like move the goalpost, which is a great thing from a performance, but also a challenge a little bit from the goal setting. I was just kind of curious. I don't know, Matt, if you just, what are your thoughts around how goal setting's going, flowing that down? Anything you'd share, some perspective there?
Yeah, it's going really well. So on the 15th, we'll kind of finalize where our goals are going to be for each of our teams, kind of focus on attendance, language arts growth, and math growth. So we're going to be working on that on the 15th, and then on the 27th, we're going to set our scorecards for
those teams. So those teams will be kind of might be a little bit of a mixed bag, like language arts and math. A lot of those department teachers will be on those teams, but they might have some other teachers here and there too. And then attendance is definitely going to be more of a mixed bag because everyone's kind of like coming from different departments. But yeah, so things are going really well. It was exciting to see that score come out and make us have to readjust. And when we're at our BLT meeting, we decided to just kind of go for the next level up, even though it might be a lofty goal. We want to shoot for
Stretch
yeah, and then see where we land. So yeah, it was good to see, and just makes us have to work a little hard to see where we can go. So.
And then Jacqueline, I was curious when I was going through yours, one question I had that popped out on mine was you talked about how good the attendance was at conferences,
Yep.
but that your survey results didn't really.
Right.
Any kind of insight or perspective
Yeah,
on why
we actually handed them a flyer with a QR code, and we only had not very many responses. So I was trying to think of myself when I'm at conferences. I'm always worried about what the teacher's saying and ways that I can help my sons improve. And so I think, when you're going there, they're kind of inundated with some information because our teachers do a wonderful job on a variety of information they give them. And so I think sometimes they, shuffle that paper. And so what we did the following week is I sent it out on our school messenger and we got 132
Okay,
responses.
so you are seeing the
Yep.
response rate.
And
That's great.
of those 132, 22 of them had multiple students. So it's about 154.
That's awesome.
So now
So you are
we've
getting
got,
the input you feel like you need to.
yeah,
to
now
understand that.
I know it's probably not like statistically significant, but enough for us to glean some information off of. And it was a little bit, I said it was a brief survey, but it was a little bit longer because we were trying to get their input, and I feel like we did get that. So we will be looking at that at our building leadership team next week to start looking at what we
Go through
can
the
do
data.
to improve that. But a lot
Great.
of them put comments on there that they really were happy that we were asking them for feedback, that it had been a while. So that's, I think, all good.
Good. Well, thanks for the follow-up, because I've gone to conferences too, and you get a stack of stuff usually, and what do? You throw that paper in there.
Right.
So I'm glad you thought about doing that. Great.
Would one of you in the high school be willing to talk about the apprenticeship programs and the energy and how things are going, and maybe numbers or what you see as the next step?
That's a program. I think it's something that gives kids a great opportunity, kind of see what different opportunities there are for them in their careers, and kids get those that hand-on experience. I don't have off the top of my head like
Yeah,
the
don't
number-wise, like
much
how many
on the
kids are in
spot.
it, but Seth Harms has done a great job of kind of organizing that and getting kids into places. I know he's talked about sometimes it's hard to find people that will take apprenticeships. So that's maybe like a place that we need to improve upon and find businesses that want to take on apprenticeships. But it's a great program, and it gives kids not like a great opportunity to kind of see what's out there and see if they like those different careers that are out
So
there.
which ones are welding? Which ones are active right now? Are they all active?
I think they're currently all active, but we're still waiting, I think, for a few of those. Like, so welding and autos were those always the two big ones. We've also, a couple years back, we added, I almost called it
Fairway.
meat cutting.
Yeah. Fairway.
So at Fairway, I don't know if we currently have anybody doing that one. But that one's still, obviously, that was a great partnership with them. And I know they're always asking for that as well, too. But those are the three main ones we have going right now.
I know there are 6 students interviewing for the welding this week, because we did practice interviews last Tuesday. And so I think they're interviewing, it might be this Wednesday for the welding. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the reports? All right, well, we will move forward then. Item 7, old business, which I don't think we have any. So we'll jump into item 8A. Discuss the annual report for the on the role of health services in our district.
Yeah, so for this one, Chelsea Pangburn, our district nurse, put this together for us, and it's just to give you guys an idea of what things look like in the health office and the work that they do. And so the attached presentation, you'll see how many visits she had and what most of the visits are for, and about how that breaks out into each building. So pretty good numbers at all the buildings.
I was gonna say she's busy.
She is very
Did
busy.
that start in January or?
I think, yeah, she says September 2025, and then, but I don't know that it's got to be.
I
That's
hope
got to be
so.
last year's now.
Yeah.
I think that's last
It's
year's
gotta be.
number.
But
That's only a month. into
That's
the
only a
school
month.
year.
Yeah. Yep. It's interesting to see top 3 reasons are the headache and
Yeah.
PE and recess. I know it's always busy after recess, the lower levels, and then the virus and cold symptoms. So I always think that's interesting to see where the visits all fall in line. And then on the second, she talks about, we also, in addition to just the triage that she does, there's also individual health plans throughout the district. And so you can see that we have 61 total plans district-wide, and those are created with parents regarding whatever health issue there is. And that's a standardized plan that we use from the state, and she individualizes it for each student, but the template starts in the same place. And then there on the right, she also just talks about daily doses of meds and what those med passes look like at each building as well.
Great.
It's a busy place, that's for sure.
It's great work.
She's awesome. Yeah, we're very lucky. Her and her associates are all very good.
Any other questions or comments on the report?
Oh, mine got answered.
Good. Well, thanks, Chelsea, for putting that together. That's outstanding. All right, we'll move on to item 8B, facilities update.
Yeah, so Lynette will take this one over, but just a little background. We've just, as a cabinet, we talk every month about what our lists are, what things, we don't use the administrators come in and talk with us as well of what their sometimes it's a wish list or what they feel like are the biggest priorities. So we kind of look at what needs to happen this year, or in this case, coming up in the summer of 26, what would be kind of a 3-year project further out, and just try to narrow it down to some things that we can do within our budget. And so we just recently had that meeting a couple weeks ago, and so we have our list moving forward, and I'll let Lynette take it from there.
She said it all. It's all done now.
I was going to say, that's not it. I was careful, I think. I tried that.
This would be a great time. Carl was really the only one on the board when we did the major renovation project. So I think between just the community and other people, we did spend $38 million, but where did it all go? And just a reminder of that. So going back to that, over half of that was spent, just over $20 million was spent literally on things you can't see. So all of the guts of the building.
Infrastructure.
The infrastructure. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry, peeps. Over half of it was spent on infrastructure things and things, in the tunnels and underneath your HVAC systems. We added air conditioning to all the buildings. We did new windows, things like that. Then you add into, we did the bus lane. If you remember, we did the bus lane out back of Lambert Middle School. We did in a music addition at middle school. We did a classroom addition at Lambert. We added the double security entrances both at Lambert and at middle school, and redid their office spaces as well. What was left over from that project, or money, so to speak, is all the little things that we could touch. We redid science in middle school and high school. We redid family consumer science in middle school and high school. And then all the other classrooms got kind of what you can see in here: flooring, paint, and ceiling tiles. So our classrooms themselves use their building budgets to get their furniture and update that one, unless it was one of those rooms. So what we have done prior to that, we started that in 2019. And 2025, I just paid the final bill. So that was a very long, painful process, but we got through it. And what we did prior to that was saved every penny we could. So we did very little upkeep, we did very little maintenance, we did very little anything that we didn't have to do, because we didn't know. First, we committed a big chunk of our own money that we had saved, but on top of that, we didn't know for sure how much, would we go over budget? Would we do, what would happen? We needed to save all this money back just in case. What we've been doing the last year and a half now, last year and this year, is starting to have those big ticket conversations, because we have money sitting there that we can only spend on infrastructure, that we can only spend on improving our facilities. And so when you guys are going to start seeing something you haven't seen for years, the rest of you ever, as you sit on the board, is we're going to be bringing some of these big ticket items because of the dollar amount. You guys have to approve it. But that's all part of our short-term plan. These items, although, a playground at Lambert is a couple $100,000, that's not an infrastructure long-range facility plan type of move. So we meet as a group, all administrators and cabinet, and talk about, our principals bring to us, like, what's the next thing you could see in your building or that you need. We're sitting pretty good. Where we're at, what's left is Lambert got the playground. High school, we brought it to Matt and said, our commons, a lot of us travel watching kids or grandkids at different schools, and you walk into their front entry, it's like, wow, this is where they get to eat. Wow, this is their commons, or wow, this is their entry. We have a fantastic space, but our furnishings in that space are not wowy. And so that was kind of charged to them, and you'll see that next month. Matt and Matt are working on tweaking it a little bit and getting a couple quotes for us, but we're looking to bring something that's really wowy. It's all within our budget. It's within our annual budget that we spend. So that's why it's not part of a long-range facility plan. I would call it a short-term facility plan, because we meet as a group. And so, for example, Mrs. Leahy's like, in her locker rooms, she got new showers, but that was it. So her middle school locker rooms, if any of you have ever been in there, they really need some attention. So she's been charged, like, okay, it may not be this year's, probably going to be on next year's plan, but go start getting some price, and let's talk about how much money are we talking about. And then the last thing really truly that's on the docket is the surfacing under the playground. But Rudy was generous enough and kind enough and understanding enough district-wide, even said, I'm so excited with this new playground. Let's look at the commons first, and then we can come back and circle around to finish that part off.
I could tell he was excited. I saw him swinging on the different equipment.
He's
and I
out
took
there
pictures.
playing all the time.
It's multiple times.
Very
Makes me
impressive.
wonder what he does every day.
He's recess duty now.
Of course he is.
Keep them in line.
I'd be recess duty too. So that's where these things are coming from. And so we just kind of wanted to circle back to you guys to let you know that you will be seeing some of these bigger ticket items. It's not something you're used to seeing. And that's why we thought it was maybe a great time to relive a little bit what went down with construction and then talk about where we're at
Great idea.
currently. And I do think when we talk about that strategic plan, that's all going to play into the survey that Mrs. Vance has out. And that's going to be a bigger ticket.
It'll be a component.
That's
underneath
going to
some of
be,
that.
that's going to be a college career readiness center or a multi-purpose room or a parking garage or who knows what. But that's going to be more than just we need a playground or we need some new furniture here. Those are more of your annual day-to-day conversations that we have within our management inside the school.
Okay.
Any questions on any of that? I think you'll be super
helpful
wowed by the
context.
comments next month.
Helpful context. Super wowed.
Super wowed. Set the bar high, guys. Ooh, did you see that? 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
I remember waiting patiently for many months. We talked about all of the different needs, and we all just said we've got to wait until the big project gets done. And then,
We said that a lot.
yeah, we did from our initial walkthrough to
Yeah.
construction. And I think it's helpful as a board that we don't feel like, I don't think we feel blindsided, but having a couple of months advance notice to understand what's coming down the pipe, it gives us better understanding of what's happening, and we feel better about
Yep.
approving and discussing these things. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Yep. Very helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good context. Thanks, Lana.
Yep.
Any other questions, thoughts?
No, the wow factor. We go to, like you said, we all go to a lot of them. The football field kind of has that wow, but I think everybody this year, I think all but 2 that we play at has a turf field. So,
Yeah.
that's
We have the lights though.
We have,
and
we have the
no
cool
track around it.
And someone to operate them.
What's something else? Oh, and it didn't have to come for board approval, but you will see it, which we believe will also be adding a wow factor. In front of Lambert, as you're walking in on that left-hand side, we put that concrete, we took out all that little pea gravel and we put a concrete pad in there. We have, I don't know exactly when it's in manufacturing, but we're putting an outdoor classroom. And so we've got some really bright colored seating and those canopy cover things to keep them out of the sun. And so I think it'll look really wowy for an elementary school as you walk up or even as you drive by. It just needed something more updated and useful. Rudy met with your BLT to talk about what do we want out there, something to play with and play on, or do we want like an outdoor classroom? Because here at the high school, we've got the gazebo setting out there and staff take their kids out there on nice days to read or, do assignments or whatever. And we see them out in the gazebo and out laying on the grass, but Lambert didn't really have anything like that out front. And so his BLT was like, yeah, we want an outdoor classroom. So I think it seats 28 as a handicap spot and
Wonderful.
it'll look nice.
Cool.
Now comes the extras finally.
So that's,
Long time
that's what we're
coming.
hoping for you. Great. Good. Thanks. All right, we'll go ahead and move to item 8C, approval of the ISU clinical experience contract.
Yep, and these are, you'll see a few of them on here, but they're the student teaching contracts that we have to go through yearly, just whenever we're hosting or cooperating with the college or university for those experiences, we have an agreement with them.
And no changes to any of them.
Changes to them. Yep.
I will move to approve the Iowa State clinical experience contract.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll try and filibuster while Lynette goes to the next page. Item 8D, the student training affiliation agreement with St. Ambrose University. I assume it's the same
Same thing.
situation.
This one's kind of cool though, because it's with Chelsea for nursing students, so that's
Oh,
a
cool.
little bit different, but Similar
But same
concept.
same concept
Yep.
and same
Yep,
terms.
same process and terms, yeah.
I move to approve the student training affiliation agreement with St. Ambrose University.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Item 8E, the Lockheed Building change order number 3.
Yep, so this was for the school safety, what we did with the school safety grant, some of those improvements and upgrades. It was electrical work that needed to be, after they got in there, and needed to be upgraded a little bit. So that's what that change order is.
Very small,
referencing.
just a small
Yep.
electrical
And it's
change.
actually coming from contingency. We had a
So it didn't even
$20,000
change-
contingency.
it
So
doesn't even
technically,
change
it's
the-
not even money.
Costing more, it's just.
Yeah, it was already built in. And you'll see the next one's just a payout of that.
I move to approve the LBSI change order 3.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll go to item 8F. This, as you said, this is the payout of the contingency, is that right?
I'll move to approve LBSI change order 4.
Second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. Item 8G, our placement agreement with Kirkwood Community College.
Similar.
Similar,
Yep.
just another teaching agreement. Again, same concept, or no, same terms, I
Same
mean.
terms, yep.
I move to approve the placement agreement with Kirkwood Community College.
Second that motion.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, item 8H, the contract with City Cruises for the New York City music trip.
I feel like we should test this out before we.
We should do a
That's what
field
I
trip.
thought. There's a lot of cool stuff on this.
I move that we approve the contract for City Cruises for the NYC music trip.
Second.
All right.
I'm sure they'll look for chaperones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
forgot
you
to
too
add
can
us.
join in.
We
Yeah.
get to go.
Amend your motion.
All right,
Contingent upon board approval.
exactly. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thanks to Julie and the Friends of Music for organizing a lot of that. I know that a lot of hard work goes into that. I know she's working that. I know Roy Cartman. Who else is on there? There's a couple.
Jamie Jolly.
And Jamie Jolly. Thank you. The three of them are doing a ton of great work to get that organized for the kids. All right. Move on to 8I. Approve the 25 EL excess cost.
So these next two are the same that we do every year. I finish up my state reports, and it allows us to, what we're pulling here is more authority. So this is how much we spent over by having an ELL teacher, which is our English language learner field, profession, I don't know, code. We're only allocated a very, very small amount. But the problem is you can't find a 0.1 teacher. So they allow you to have your cost. I don't get cash for it, but I do get authority. And so that's what this is.
Okay. So then you have to technically steal from another cash source to
Yep.
net it up. Oh, okay.
Yep. I don't steal
Was
anything.
it-
Right. That was the
Poor choice of words.
Reallocate. Yes. Thank you.
Be honest tomorrow, I'm not stealing anything.
Can you rewind that, Joe? Darn it. It's-
Rob
Please
Peter
don't.
to pay Paul.
I will,
She's probably watching.
She probably is.
I'll move to approve the fiscal year 25 EL excess cost.
I'll second.
At least we have fun. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. We'll go on to 8J, the SBRC request for special ed deficit.
So exact same thing, other than this is special education. We're not allowed by law to cut spending if it's on an IEP. We have to provide what is required on an IEP. So in essence, that they say whatever's required is required, pay it, and then we get the authority for it. So again, not cashed. We would tax back for this down the line, which you'll probably see, come March or
Our SBRC
April.
ads come
Yep,
back to pay for this,
those
but we
come
don't have a
back,
choice.
when we start talking taxes, but they give us the authority for it, which is our unspent balance.
I'll move to approve SBRC request for fiscal year 25 special education deficit.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Next is approving the SIAC committee for 25-26.
Yep, so this is what I had mentioned before relative to the strategic planning. This is the committee that will do that work through this year. We'll have our first meeting, I believe it's October 28th. We've sent invitations and heard back from the members, getting a commitment there. we're excited to start that work. That first meeting, I'll take some of the information from the survey to them, some of our current data, and we'll really work on the mission and vision in the first part of the year, and then gather some more information and finish it up in the second part.
Good group of people.
Yeah.
Very much.
We're very thankful that they agreed to it. I know everybody's busy, so to add meetings to your schedule is not always
Not easy.
an easy yes, but we're very lucky that they did. So
How many times do you meet with them?
we're going to do 2 this year.
2 meetings? Okay.
Mhm.
Good. Wonderful. Thanks for everybody for that. I'll go ahead and approve the committee. Jamie, you have a look?
Can I, if I'm the school board member on there?
I didn't look. I would just, no.
Yeah,
I will
right on.
move to approve the SIAC committee members.
I second. Jamie's on it just to make sure.
Figured that out.
Before you vote. Okay.
Who seconded?
Carl did. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstains?
Yep.
Sure.
Aye.
Good call.
We
Right.
got to mark it different.
Yeah, we're just gonna make you click different. I like that.
You'll be.
And does in here.
All right, we'll move on to 8L, approval of the snow removal bid.
Hopefully we don't need it. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I'll move to approve the snow removal bid for 25-26 with Sean Zezer Construction.
Second motion. Second. Just curious, Gary, just in the times of the past, you've been really happy with Steve's performance in this and everything?
In the 10 years I've been here. So yeah, he does a great job. He didn't even raise prices this year. So I mean, he does a great job for us. And a lot of people don't want the job because this is the only area you can do it. Takes so long. Like
So long.
they're stuck with us, and we're pretty demanding. We need it done by 7 o'clock.
Kids can come
And
through and families can get
yeah.
through, right?
so no, he's done a great job for us.
I thought so. Great. Appreciate it. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Move on to 8M, approval of the adoption of the I Love You Guys standard response protocol. You just wanted me to have to say that.
I know.
Love
I
you
know.
too, Steve.
Yeah.
No. So this is replacing Alice. That was our former response. There's a couple reasons for that. One, you have to have a paid license with Alice, and we were at the end of that term. So we'd either have to pay and renew or do something else. And the timing worked out really well that Mandy from the county was doing this with law enforcement. And so she talked to myself and Troy from Maquoketa Valley and EDCO and Jen Soderblum from St. Mary's. And so all of us are now in the same protocols. All of the teachers were in our auditorium in August from all of those schools getting trained. Our law enforcement partners were there as well. We did training with the students. It's finished in a couple of buildings. Lambert's finishing up this week, I believe. So we'll have that part done. We have some more trainings to do, but really it's similar concepts. As far as Alice went, a little bit different terminology. We're incorporating that into our drills. And like I said, we'll have staff training. We'll continue to run scenarios and things like that with staff. But this is just, I need also to let them know that we're doing it so that the company, I don't know if you want to call it a company, but that the group, if they make updates, we're sure to get the
You're
updates.
part of the update.
Yeah, yep.
Family communications in an emergency situation.
Yep,
What,
so-
what happens under this?
So we would go through the school messenger
Okay.
to send them any updates we could as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Probably Facebook those would be our probably 2 biggest ways to get
Outreach
things out as quickly as we could. Yeah. Yep, school messenger for sure. And I sent an email to parents. I don't know, it's probably been 3 weeks now, a couple weeks, but encourage them to go in and make sure that your school messenger information's up to date. Because a lot of times if someone says, if we don't have school, that's when I use it the most, but they'll say I didn't get it. I'm like, well, go in and double check, make sure we've got the right email, or did you change a phone number? So it's just a reminder to make sure that's updated because that's the list that we work from, so.
I move to approve the adoption of the I Love You Guys standard response protocol.
Guys.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks. Item N, approved National FFA Convention travel request.
is a yearly request that you guys see come through, and we'll have the students come back after the fact and talk to us a little bit about it, share their
Perfect. Yeah, yeah.
experience. And I think I saw them there. Do you have anything you want to add?
Okay, yeah, no, it's a great experience for the kids. We take it yearly. It's a really good chance for the kids to see too, like what the contest we go to at the national level, what do those competitors look like? And now, even this is like my 5th year at West Delaware, we can see that like rise of competition in our students. We have had a lot of top 10 finishes in the state. The kids get so excited every year to try to compete at the national level. So this is just inching us towards that level a little bit more. And we do a lot of educational tours, so kids have a great time.
Very cool experience. Thank you for your work in organizing it.
Yeah. Bless you for taking kids on a field trip.
I'll move to approve the National FFA Convention travel request.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And item O, approval of a renewal of our contract with the Donovan Group.
Yep, so we're approaching that 1-year mark from when you approved this last year for the first time. So we're up for renewal. I've been happy with working with them. It's been nice. They do a nice job keeping us updated. Our teachers do a nice job. We have a form that they can directly submit things and pictures to, and then the Donovan Group takes it and gets it out there. We just this last Friday shot the footage for a promotional video that we'll have coming out here shortly, but that was part of last year's agreement, but we wanted to wait until it's prettier outside in the fall for video purposes. So
Our pricing did go down because last year had the promotional video as well as they
they helped like just a social media audit or website audit.
Yeah.
Doing some
Other activities they did with them.
yeah.
What feedback are you getting from the public on our increase?
The outreach.
Yeah.
There was a couple things in the survey that mentioned communication. They enjoy seeing communication from the district. There wasn't anything specifically about the social media. I don't have them in front of me, but I did run analytics a while back just to see the engagement, and that's growing. You see different posts have very different engagement. Like if you have pictures of kids or puppies, it feels like you get a lot more likes than, and so trying to make sure that we put
I get it.
Yeah, yeah, and for me, it's just trying to make sure that we get stuff out there from everywhere so that
Hitting all the broad spectrum of activities. And
not doing the
things that
same thing over and over. We tried to put out some things this week with our School to Work at Advanced Manufacturing Day and some posts like that, but then also the Labor Playground, or just try to diversify what we're putting out there and making sure that people are engaging with it.
Hit the like button.
Yep.
I've been really impressed with the community. I think it'd be interesting to ask your science committee just to get
That would be a good one,
cross
yeah.
section of if they've noticed it. I mean, I'm assuming that most people have, but I can see the deliberate improvement. I think that the challenge always is for us is to make sure whatever we put on the forum, like you said, if one person's eager about making sure their information gets out, that's gonna
Yes.
get out. And if something isn't, it's making sure you feel balanced. That's
Yeah.
probably. Do they do anything to help you in that area to kind of talk about where inputs are coming from? They don't do any.
Not
of that
really.
aspect of
When
it?
I ask them, they'll tell me what posts got the most likes, or
They
they'll
kind of
run.
give you where your hits are coming from
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing on the playground. Yes, most liked post. If you just had a puppy sitting beside you, you'd have been sad.
A motion we approve the Donovan Group contract with or without extra posts from Mr. Hammond.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, move to item 9, comments from the public. Good on that tonight. So number 10, I think, Mr. Vasky, you are,
I just got my phone out to add it right now.
yeah, this will be
Okay.
your
Thank
like
you.
swan song one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Farewell tour.
all right,
7:30.
11/7 at 7:30.
7:30.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll try not to text you in the morning.
That's all right. I appreciated that though.
I'm sure you did.
Got the ball rolling.
All right, with that, we'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everybody.